Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Kid, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you the preview and everything else you need to know. Kickoff time, where you can watch the game, etc. Predicted lineup, score prediction, and a few stats about the game. With my main man Charlie from Charlie THSE, recently reached 1K. How are you keeping?
Yeah, thanks for having me on as always, David. Yeah, I always enjoy doing previews with you. And yeah, thank you. Of course, I hit 1K recently. Now let's get David to 1K. Of course, he recently hit 500, so let's get him to 1K. The Harris Army watching. So yeah, David, thank you so much for having me on, as always.
Yeah, no problem, lads. You know you're my preview guy. I wouldn't. Sometimes I do it with a bit of other some other people, like when I do it last minute, because sometimes. It's hard, especially when you're on a bad run of form to do it. But I suppose you have to.
Difficult, yeah.
But yeah, look, if you do like the content and you find yourself watching the video today and you haven't already subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
To the Harris
Get behind the fastest growing Spurs channel on YouTube at this moment. I reached my target for 500 for Christmas, and already today I'm up to 542. So let's get me to 550 for this preview. And the Harris Army out there, I want to say a big thank you very much as well. I couldn't do it without you and other fellow YouTubers like Charlie, Matt, Marcelo, We Are Tottenham TV. So thanks very much. But look, we'll get into it. So look, you can watch the game. It's on Amazon Prime. In Ireland, I presume that means it'll be on Premier Sports. That is what tends to usually happen. So hopefully that is the case. And kickoff time is at 6 p.m. Of course, it's Tottenham at home for Fulham. It's a London derby, Charlie. And look, a few stats for you, and then I'm going to ask you what you think. So the few stats are that Tottenham have won 10 of the last 11 Premier League games versus Fulham. The last defeat coming in 2013 when they actually beat us 1-0 at the Old Lane, White Hart Lane.
1-0.
Since 2008, Fulham haven't scored more than one goal in a Premier League meeting with Tottenham. So that,
history's on our favour.
Basically, this goes to show we have to score two.
We've got a good record against Fulham.
Tottenham are unbeaten in our last 7 Premier League London derbies, whereas Fulham haven't won in their last 13 London derbies in the Premier League. So they don't have a good record against London teams, which is another good stat in our favour. And then Tottenham have lost just one of their last 11 games before the new year, their last game of the calendar year. Whereas Fulham, well, actually, no, this one goes in Fulham's favour. They haven't lost any in their last 5 games to see out the calendar year. And a win will also bring us from 7th up to 2nd. What do you make of them stats, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, look, some of them definitely suggest that we do have a good record against Fulham. I think I've had seen a lot of games against Fulham, of course. I remember there was the last time we did play Fulham was the 2-1 win at Craven Cottage with Harry Winks, of all people, getting that last-minute winner sort of for a cross from Nkudu, of all people, in that game. So, yeah. And then, of course, the 3-1 at Wembley, the last home game against Fulham, where Kane finally scored in August. So, yeah, look, history is definitely on our side. We've got a good record against Fulham, and it's a must-win game. It is a must-win game. I said on my preview that we've gone 4 without a win. We have to get that win on the board. We have to start getting points on the board, because otherwise we're going to drop down the table. And, yeah, it's such an important game, but it won't be easy. Fulham, they started off the season very badly. However, they did bring in a few signings, and they have improved quite a lot lately, actually. They got a draw against Liverpool. They've got a few decent draws against Southampton, actually, a clean sheet in there. So they have improved lately, but they're not winning. They're not winning like loads of games, but they are tightening up at the back, that's for sure, and they are scoring a few more goals. So this won't be easy. They've got some decent players in there. You look at Adamoah Lookman, of course, remember him from his days at Everton and Charlton and at Leipzig. He's actually on loan from Leipzig, I believe. So he's doing very well for them this season, albeit not from the penalty spot, but apart from that, he's doing quite well for them. You've got as well Ivan Cavallero, formerly of Wolves. He might be on loan as well, actually. I might be wrong. So they've got quite a few loan players, but he's another one. Got a lot of pace about him. You've got Deco Overeed, I think that's how you say it, as well. Doing well. He scored against Liverpool in their 1-1 draw. You got Anguissa and Lamina, two very sort of physical midfielders, which we're going to need physicality in our midfield to hopefully deal with them. So this won't be an easy game by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah. It's a London derby. Fulham will be up for it. Scott Parker will be coming back home. It'll be good to play against him. But yeah, look, it's a game where we just have to get back to winning ways. It's as simple as that. We've got some very favourable fixtures coming up now, sort of teams sort of in the bottom half of the table coming up. So we have to go on a bit of a run now after these last 4 games. We have to put together a run and hopefully climb our way back up the Premier League table.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you. Back to winning ways. But before I move on to a bit of team news, Charlie, as a season ticket holder yourself, I'm sure you've got to go to a Tottenham Fulham game.
Yeah.
So basically, what I want to know is what the experience around the game is like. Do you rock up expecting to win and everyone's in a joyful mood, or is it a game because it's a London derby you're a bit on edge, a bit nervous?
Well, I don't really remember that side of it too well, because I remember the last Tottenham Fulham game I went to was the one at Wembley, the 3-1, where I remember Lucas Moura scoring that game, and I remember they equalised, and I think we didn't play particularly well in periods for that game, but we got the 3-1 win in the end. I remember Mitrovic scored; he hit the post as well, so we got away. We sort of got over the line in that game, if I remember correctly. And I think it was packed out Wembley that day. Fulham fans, they were up for it. Definitely, I remember they were singing the whole way through. Definitely a lot louder because Wembley was always quiet for us. We were actually talking about that off air. But look, it was a good experience as always. All match day experiences are good, and the Fulham one was no different. So it was a good game. Of course, picking up 3 points in that game was a massive in that game. So it was a good experience, that's for sure.
Yeah, thanks very much for that insight, Charlie. I'm sure the Harris Army and whoever else is watching will enjoy that. So look, we're going to move on to a bit of team news. We're going to start with Tottenham. So Lo Celso is obviously out injured. Mourinho has said that Bale, he's probably going to be out for a few weeks. So he's out. Vinicius and Lucas. Now it's not 100%.
Mourinho confirmed they're out.
Yeah, I did. Jose did say it is doubtful. And look, we all know the reasons behind that. It's COVID related. And then
some of the Arsenal boys.
so look, with all them injuries out, so you have Vinicius, Lucas, Lo Celso, Bale, all attacking players. Does Dele Alli get back?
It'll be interesting. I think I wouldn't be completely surprised if he got a game in this one. But look, it's a tough one to call. We did in my preview on my channel. It was a tough predicted lineup to do. We had to plan it and everything before. So if you want to go and check that out, make sure to check that out. But it's a difficult one to call. I can't call it, to be honest. I think I wouldn't be surprised if you saw him starting, but I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't starting. That's the thing. So it's a tough one there, David. No, it is tough for me. Look, he's definitely going to make the bench. That's nine subs. He's
definitely going to be on the bench to start. I'm not sure.
The January window's coming up.
And after the Stoke game and look, I've seen a lot of controversy about it. It was his fault for the goal. He gave away the ball when he should have made it.
It was a silly flick. I don't know if you've seen the clip. It was a silly flick. It really was silly.
I have a look, and a lot of people kind of stalled the clip at when the keeper had the ball at his feet. But what they didn't show was that his flick on the build up to giving them back the ball. And look, for a player that's been out and is out of favour, you can't really be doing them things. You have to do what Jose wants you to do.
Yeah, and he played well. He played well in the first half, Dele, against Stoke. He played well in the first half.
Yeah, he did. But it's the individual mistakes again.
Yeah.
Do you know that sort of way?
He wasn't helped by the back four. He was not helped by the back four.
No, I said that. I did say that. I said he was very let down by the back four there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And look, if it didn't go in, he probably would have stayed on. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just letting the fans know out there is a slight chance you might see Dele Alli tomorrow. Yeah. Another thing, actually. So actually, Japhet Tanganga, we think is back. We haven't really heard any news that he is out. So he could also be in contention to start tomorrow. What do you think of that, Charlie?
Yeah, I mean, look, Tanganga's been a guy that's had injury problems all season. He was sort of getting back into things in the Europa League when he played the last couple of games in there. Looked really good, actually. He looked aggressive. So, look, I'm not 100% sure we'll see him back in there tomorrow because we do have other options at centre back. So, but I wouldn't be completely surprised due to the amount of games we got coming up.
Yeah.
Why not? I'll definitely prefer him to Sanchez. That's for sure. I'd definitely prefer him to Sanchez. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Look, I much prefer him to Sanchez. I think he's more reliable, even at his young age. And anytime he's played, he hasn't really put a foot wrong. So the guy deserves to be in contention. I think Roden, me personally, probably will get picked ahead of him.
I said that. Yeah, I said that.
That's what we went for with your preview on your channel. So if anyone wants to check that out, make sure you hit up Charlie THFC, go over there, check it out, give it a loud like, and get support behind this guy. Just on the Ndombele thing, actually. So I don't know whether you've seen Jose's quotes on this, but basically the short version is that basically some players are explosive but can't last 90 minutes. That's the short version of his quotes. That might answer why he was subbed against Wolves for a lot of people, whether you agree or not with it. It's what he's telling you. But what do you make on them comments? Because I know you were very critical of it.
Yeah, I was very critical of the substitution. I think Ndombele was our best player against Wolves. I think he shouldn't have been taken off. Even at 50%, he was still doing more than Winks has ever done in his Tottenham career. So I think, and in that game, with all seriousness. So I think, Ndombele, even at 50%, he's still very effective for me. So I think Mourinho got it all wrong against Wolves, the tactics and the substitutions, to be honest. So I'm sure that's a topic we're going to bring up at some point in this preview regarding the tactics and this sitting back rubbish that we have to soak in and stuff. So I think that's what I make of the comments.
And he also basically said that, like, he's a guy that had a lot of injuries last year, a lot of fitness problems, and that, like, it's taken him time to settle in and last the 90 minutes. He did also add that as well. But look, we'll move on to the Fulham news. So look, there's not really anybody out for Fulham that I'm aware of. Lamina is back. You touched on Lamina being back in there, a physical player. It's going to be a big boost for them in the midfield. Tete, he's a Dutch fullback. Look, he's returned from the birth of his child, but reports are that he's unlikely. He's unlikely to feature. And Terence Congolo returns from an injury. Again, look, if Parker rotates the team, you might see him, but again, probably doubtful. And Scotty Parker returns following a bit of quarantine. So he's back on the bench.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Scott Parker back. It would have been annoying if he was still isolating. But it's good to have him back, Parker, back on the Fulham bench. It's going to be good to have him back. We had it last year of Johnny Woodgate and Robbie Keane coming back from Middlesbrough. So we got Scotty Parker this year. It'll be good to see him. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's good to welcome Scotty Parker back to the lane. Of course, he used to play with us. A good player in midfield for us as well. The only thing is, though, I would like to see him lighten up a bit. I think he's a bit boring for me. I would like to see a bit more personality come out of Scotty. But look, he's a tough job there at Fulham, and he's doing well, and I do wish him the best of luck. And I don't mind welcoming him back to the lane as long as he's on the losing side. That's all that matters. But look, Charlie, we're going to move on to the game itself. How do you think we're going to approach this game? Do you think we're going to see what we've seen against Wolves? Look, see, I disagree with you on this. Like, we agree on a lot of things, but this is one thing I disagree with you. You think it's the tactics. I think it's the players.
I think it's both.
With the passes and stuff.
I think it's both.
So how do you think we are going to approach this game?
Is this question how I want us to approach it or how I think we're going to approach it?
Well, you can give us both.
Right. Okay, I'll rephrase that. What we should be doing, right? What we should be doing is going out there and attacking Fulham right from the off, going with an attacking formation, right, with attacking players on the pitch and attacking them right from the get-go, come out the blocks, hopefully score 1 or 2 goals, right? And then we just need to keep going. Well, if we do get the first goal in this game, we have to keep going for the second one. We can't sit back with all due respect to Fulham, right? Sitting back at home against Fulham, it's rather embarrassing, really. You know what I mean? With all due respect to Fulham, sitting back against them at home, come on, it's ridiculous. Can you imagine if there was 60,000 in there if we did that? It'd be ridiculous. If we did that, Can you imagine?
Yeah. It wouldn't fly. It wouldn't fly.
I'm sorry. We have to be more expansive for this game. Jose just has to change something because this thing keeps happening where we go a goal up and then we concede from a set piece late on. Right? We need to kill these games off. We need to get a 2, 3 goal, 4 goal lead. Right? We need to keep going for these games. Get the attacking football back that we saw at the start of the season. Because at the moment we're just not finding the balance. Because at the start of the season, we were scoring loads of goals, but our defense was very leaky. Now he's shored up the defense, but we're not scoring goals. So he has to find the right balance, and I'm hoping this is a game that he can do it. Because something just has to change. Something has to change in terms of the tactics, the manager, the players. Just something has to change for this game, and I'm hoping against Fulham we can come out with a reaction and hopefully get a much needed 3 points because we have to win this game. 4 games without a win already. Literally, we have to win this game. It's so important, this game. So, look, I want us to approach it going for it, just going it from the off, get the first goal, get the second goal, more importantly, and then maybe soak up a bit of pressure in the second half, but we'll have like a 2 or 3 goal lead cushion. So I just want to see us go for this game more. I want to see us take the game to Fulham and punish them, essentially, and not give them any encouragement on the ball like we keep doing with these teams. David, how do you think we're going to set up for this game?
Look, for me, I actually think we're going to see a reaction tomorrow, Charlie. I honestly
hope so.
believe we will. I think we are going to play on the front foot. I think every player is going to be at it. Because the reason why I think we've looked so defensive over the last few weeks is because players just haven't been at it. They haven't executed the basics, pass and move, and stuff you're taught when you first start playing football. Stuff my old lad taught me in the back garden, throwing a ball to me, trapping it, passing it to a player in the same colour shirt as you. Do you know what I mean? And they just haven't been doing it, which means we failed to get out. Which means when you give the opposition the ball back, you're just being pinned in because they have the ball the whole time. But tomorrow, I think you're going to see a lot of the individual mistakes eliminated. I think you're going to see a fired up top. I think we're going to be ready for this. I think Fulham are going to come to White Hart Lane. We're going to bend them over our knee. We're going to spank them. We're going to send them back to the little potty. Do you know what I mean? I do think we're going to see a reaction. We're going to play on the front foot. Look, like you said, it's not going to fly with me if we see another disgraceful performance by the players. I'm just happy to sit back as well. And then for me, if it is a case that we do end up sitting back against Fulham, then maybe I have to start questioning Jose's tactics. But I'll reserve that.
It's getting ridiculous now. It just is getting ridiculous. How he's not. Why is he not changing something that clearly doesn't work? I just don't understand it, and I'm getting sick of it because it's horrible to watch.
If we were able to pass the ball and get out a lot more, with just doing the basics and trying harder, basically, we would have a lot more of the ball, and we probably would be a lot more on the front foot.
But I can tolerate defensive football and the way and boring football if we're getting results. I can tolerate it then. But if we're not getting results, God forbid.
Yeah, but look, it's the same tactics that we were singing about that got us to the top of the league a few weeks ago.
We've said this against the big teams. It's perfect, fine. Against the big teams, I understand it completely. But when you're doing it against teams in the lower half of the table, it just doesn't work. And why is he not learning from this? I just don't get it.
Well, it hasn't worked because we've had Eric Lemessi out for a while. But Eric Lemessi will probably be back in. So look, I'm expecting a big win. His shithouse. He's a shithouse. He's going to get at this Fulham team. He's going to wind them up. He's going to step on arms. He's going to step on legs. He's going to get us on the front foot again. He's going to be crucial. But Charlie, how do you think we can break down this Fulham team? What are the areas you would look at to get at this team?
I think Fulham are going to set up in a way which simply doesn't suit us. They're going to sit back, 2 backs of 4, probably in like a 4-4-2 or something. And it's just that we know we struggle against these teams. So I think for me, the key in breaking these down, I just feel we have to look at their spots. Like, what weaknesses could we see in their team at the back? I think you look at, they're not the greatest at the back, even though they have improved a lot lately. They're still probably a little bit weak there.
Get balls in behind them. I watched Villa do that. They got balls down the side of them and flooded players into the box, and they destroyed them.
Yeah, I think getting behind them, sort of, pretty much the key to this is not to give them encouragement by not gifting them possession, because if you gift them possession, it's going to be the same old. It will be the same old if we gift them possession. So we have to just dominate the ball, dominate the game, and wait for our opening, and then at the end of the day, take our chances. It's that simple. Yeah. So I think, look, obviously it's not simple, but I'm saying that we just have to find a way to break it down. I hope players like Ndombele, Lamela, these guys can add creativity and hopefully get sort of a line breaking pass to hopefully break Fulham down and create chances for us. But yeah, look, we need a reaction, as you said. We need a reaction.
Yeah, for me, look, I've watched a few of their games this year, and the way teams seem to get at them a lot is down the fullbacks, get in behind the fullbacks, get balls over the top, get your players onto it, and then flood their box with runners. Flood it. You will get the chances. Their defenders are cagey. They are always nervous. Once you flood the area, they panic. Get the ball into the box. Get down behind the fullbacks. Get it in and flood the box with players. I don't want to see this crap at times where I have seen it where we get down the sides, we've no one to cross it into because Harry Kane is too tired to be able to get up the field with the run of play. So look, we need to get more players into the box. And for me, that's how we win this game. That's where I would be looking to exploit. Like, we know their back line is cagey. We know it's cagey. And look, to be honest with you, they don't really create great chances either, Charlie. You know, they don't, like, a lot of their goals are from more or less individual brilliance or penalty, or they don't actually create many clear-cut chances. So, like, the only way I can see them really scoring is by an individual error by a player again. So look, but that's how I think that's the weakness I think we can exploit.
Just cut out these individual errors because they're just making me sick at the moment. These individual
errors, if we cut them out, we'd still be top of the league right now.
Yeah.
But Charlie, the key battles to look out for.
I think you look at someone like Kane up against their defence. I think Kane can definitely get who have they got? Anderson and Odoi maybe. Will Odoi play? I think Kane can definitely get the best out of them. You look Son up against who have they got at right? Tete's out, so I think who's going to be at right back for them? I'm not sure.
Tete. Odoi, I think he can play a bit right back as well.
Maybe Odoi. Yeah. I think maybe Odoi. If Son's up against Odoi, I think I'd definitely fancy Son in that sense. And as well, going the other way, you look at Lookman up against Aurier, I think, or Doherty. So I think, and as well on the other side, Cavallero up against Reguilon. So I think there's definitely some key battles in there. And the midfield, you look at Højbjerg up against Anguissa and Lamina as well. So I think if we play a physical midfield with the likes of Højbjerg, Sissoko, I think we can definitely get the better of that midfield physically because we need some physical presence in there because Fulham have a physical midfield. And as well, Loftus-Cheek, we're forgetting about him as well. Midfielder on loan from Chelsea, of course, he's going to want to do something to us. You just know Loftus-Cheek. So he's a dangerous sort of a player that can make late runs into the box, playing an attacking midfield. So Loftus-Cheek's another one we have to be careful of.
Yeah, for me, I think Lamela on their fullback, that young American guy that should have ended up
Anthony Robinson.
AC Milan.
Yeah.
For me, Lamela up against him, Lamela can use his experience, get up against Robinson's inexperience. You know, definitely target him. You know, wind them up, play a few mind games.
Robinson's done well for them, though.
He has. But look, he's still inexperienced at this level. And for me, Lamela needs to use that to his advantage. Again, Son on the other side, whoever he's up against. I want to see more from Son, actually. He has been very quiet recently. And he's going to be important again. Kane up against whoever plays centre-back. Look, they're not at his level. He should be schooling. He should make it so hard for them.
But the problem is he not? The problem is Kane tired? Is Son tired? Is Højbjerg tired? Which is boring.
Yeah, they're tired. They're tired, but it's Fulham. It's Fulham. We really should be beating them. And then for me, our fullbacks. Me and Charlie spoke about this actually. That our fullbacks need to be pacey because they're going to have very pacey, tricky wingers.
Yeah, they will.
So Lookman and Cavallero. It has to be Aurier and Reguilon. It has to be. And then the midfield battle, like we were also saying, Charlie, we have to put our most physical midfield out there tomorrow. We have to, because they do. They have a physical midfield. And Guish is quite a tidy player. He's good on the ball, but he does a lot of work. He gets around. As well as Lamina back. Huge boost for them. Another player, very physical. He's not afraid to get stuck in. So we have to, like with these games, these smaller teams, the basis is you have to match them physically. You have to outrun them. And then your quality should show through.
Yeah, exactly.
Your
Yeah.
quality should get you over
And
the
you have to
line.
create the chances as well. And we just haven't been creating the chances against these types of teams, which is worrying. And because we know how Fulham are going to get set up, because we saw Liverpool found it very difficult to play against Fulham.
Yeah.
So I'm worried if we can't create chances. I'm worried if something doesn't change, because surely he has to change it for this game. Surely, if he doesn't change anything for this game, then even if we like scrape it or whatever. But and if he doesn't change it, I'll still be worried. I will, because why is he not changing it? I just don't get it. Like, something has to change for this game, and we
Yeah.
need to see a reaction.
The thing is with Jose, the more you say something against what he's doing and what has worked up to this point, or bar the last few games, the more defiant he is to do it.
It's just
Do
what's
you know
more
what I mean?
frustrating
You've seen it time and time again. And let's face
the
it,
problem.
Charlie,
He keeps saying it. He keeps saying it in his press conference. He's like, "Yeah, it's the players," because he's clearly identified the problem, but he's not eradicating it. That's the thing.
But I agree with him. I do agree with him to a certain extent. Like, actually, most of it, I do agree with him, because it's individual errors. If we cut them out, we'd still be sitting top of the league.
We should.
It's the same players that let us down under Pochettino, that bottled it when it came to the big time, and do it again now. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of the same players. So, like, I do agree with him. Yeah, we can't forget, like, when we had Davies and Aurier at fullbacks last year, we couldn't pass out. You know, like, why do people think it's going to suddenly change? And then instead of still identifying that problem, that we need a better fullback, they just want to blame Jose's tactics. But look, we'll move on to that. That's for another day. So we're going to start going with our predicted lineup, Charlie.
Yeah. I'll get by. Here we go.
So in goals, you know who it is. It's the one and only.
Are we sticking with 4-3? Yeah. Sticking with 4-3-3 formation.
Yeah, I think we need to go 4-3-3 tomorrow.
Yeah. So yeah, Lloris in goal.
Yeah, obviously it's the Hugo. What a guy! What a servant this guy has been, and it'd be silly to drop him and play Joe Hart. At the end of the day, he should be able to play every game. The only thing that might be taxing on him is mentality-wise. But then again, if you don't have a good mentality, what's the point of playing as a goalkeeper? Do you know what I mean? So there's no point to dropping resting Lloris. Lloris has to play. Moving on to right back, Charlie. You know who it is.
Yeah, Aurier, I think, will come in. I think Doherty's played the last two, so I think Aurier is going to come in. I think, again, a chance for him to make up for that calamitous, brain-dead, schoolboy, pathetic mistake against Leicester. There's so many words I can use to describe that. But, yeah, I think he comes back in. I think we're going to need, hopefully, his pace up against someone like Lookman. I think he comes back in. Doherty's played the last two games.
Yeah, he has to come back in. Look, Doherty hasn't seized his chance, let's be honest. Aurier's back in, and hopefully, like you said, there's no more schoolboy errors left in him. Hopefully, that was the last one. You know, like, it felt like he was itching to give one away. He hasn't done it in a while, and he done it. So look, hopefully he's back to his best now, and he can kick on from here. We'll go at left back. It's obviously the Don Reguilon, the guy who's transformed that position for us. He's given us a lot better tackle output on that left hand side, and look, he's a player that's kind of been in and out a lot recently. And again, you see our results, and him being in and out, like, or starting, being taken off, or being on the bench, being put on. Like, our results have kind of dropped again with him being in and out of the team.
Yeah, I think he comes back in for this one. He only played 60 minutes against Wolves, so I think he comes back in for this one.
100%. Moving on to centre backs on the right hand side, we're going to go with Bobby Alderweireld. He was rested against Stoke, rested against Wolves, so there's no excuse not to see him pull on that jersey and grace that pitch tomorrow.
And as I said, for me, it's just time to take Eric Dyer out of the team. I think he's played a lot of football lately, and he just seems to be getting worse these last few games. So I think just take him out of the team for a bit. Look, Jose has improved him, but he just has to. There comes a time and a place, and you just have to do that sometimes. If he's going to take Toby out of the team, then Dyer should be taken out of the team for this game. To be honest, but look, it's Jose and Eric Dyer. Name a better relationship there. So I'm worried that he'll stick with Dyer. That's what I do worry about that.
Look, we are worried about that, Charlie. But we've had this discussion, and who are we going to put in beside Toby? Tell them.
So we've gone for Joe Rodon to come in for
Yep.
his only second ever Premier League appearance for Tottenham, and I think it's a chance that he deserves. I think if Sanchez is going to get a go against Wolves, then surely Rodon should get a go against Fulham.
Yeah.
And I think look, he'll know a bit about Fulham. Played against them in the Championship for Swansea, so I think it's a chance for him. Hopefully, we got the games coming thick and fast all over this festive period. So I think it's a good opportunity to give Rodon a go in defence, and hopefully to eradicate these individual errors, and hopefully add height to the set pieces, because he's really big.
Right? I think he's well at the back.
Yeah, pace at the back as well. Yeah, he's probably our tallest defender, so he can hopefully help with the set pieces and stuff. So yeah, I've picked Rodon in there. David,
Yeah, look, with Rodon, a lot of people are saying, he's been harshly done by. But look, let's look at it as facts, right? So when we signed him, we knew he couldn't play in Europa League.
He's been unlucky, Rodon, very unlucky.
So he hasn't had that chance to play. League Cup he's played because he played in Swansea, so he hasn't had the chance to play there. And then up until the last week or two, we've been grinding out steady results. So you can't expect Jose to drop what was working and just throw this guy in just because. Now he will get an opportunity, and I hope the guy takes it. I really do. Yeah. I'd love nothing better for him to put in a man the match performance and give Jose a selection headache, because it's what we want. It's what we want. And now that the guy is going to be given a chance, in my opinion, it's up to him now. It's up to him. And look, I hope he does, because it'll keep Marcelo happy as well with the Welsh
Maldini. Come on.
So especially for him, I want him to play well. But look, we'll move on to midfield now. This is where it gets very tricky for us, Charlie. We actually had problems picking this, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But look, we don't want to put him in. We would love to see him rested. And to be honest, before I say this, there is a possibility that he could be rested and you see Winks playing that pivot role.
Jesus Christ.
But for me, look, it's Højbjerg, isn't it, Charlie?
Yeah.
There's no one else in the team that can do it.
The thing is with Højbjerg is he's the only player we've got at the club that can play that role. Although we do have another, and the only other player that can is out on loan, and that's Oliver Skipp. So at the moment at the club, he's the only player that can play that role. So you have to say there's no one else that can play. And obviously, look, he looks knackered. But the thing is, there's no one else. That's the thing. There's no one else. Yeah. And I'm just worried that he's going to get run into the ground, because we're so heavily reliant on him. And he's been brilliant, don't get me wrong. But it would be nice to give him a rest, because he probably deserves it. But it's just there's no one else to play that role. That's the thing.
Yeah, well, if you look back at his stats and his duels won against Wolves, then they kind of tell you that he's tired, you know. But look, what can we do? There is nobody else, so we have to move on. So to the right-hand side of him, we're going to go Sissoko.
Sissoko to come back in,
you know, he came off the bench against Wolves, against Stoke.
And Wolves.
He came off the bench against Wolves as well for Ndombele, I think it was. And look, so he is fit. He's fit, so we should see a good performance from him tomorrow. We shouldn't see him coming out here tired. And for me, with Aurier at right back, let's get the duo back together. Dennis the Menace and Calamity Aurier. Let's get them back together. Let's get Dennis the Menace to help cover him. And let's just get back to winning ways like they were doing when we were winning.
Yeah, let's hope so. We really need to get back to winning ways. But I'm happy to go with Sissoko on that right-hand side.
Yeah, and on the left-hand side, again, for me, it's Ndombele. He was resting against Liverpool, didn't play. He was hauled off at half-time against Leicester. And against Wolves, he was hauled off after 60 minutes. So, again, he should be fresh and he should be ready to play. Tomorrow, I want 90 minutes from this guy. He was absolutely phenomenal against Wolves. Best player on the pitch. And for me, if he's the best player on the pitch tomorrow, we can't take him off. We're going to have to trust Ndombele that he can last 90 minutes, and I hope Mourinho can trust him as well.
Yeah, I hope so. I think he shouldn't have been taken off. I said I disagree with the substitutions that were made. So I think, Ndombele definitely comes in. We need that. With Lo Celso out injured, we have to have that creativity in there. Yeah. So Ndombele in there. Yeah,
like you said, he's our most creative midfielder, so he has to play. If not, it's going to be a very, very dull game. But look, moving on to the left-hand side. Charlie, who do you think will play?
This is interesting here because normally it'd be straightforward. We'd go for like Son, Kane, yeah, straightforward. So, but this time do you think he could rest Son? Because Son, again, is another one that looks run into the ground
Yeah,
completely. But the problem is, again, we keep saying this, other players aren't stepping up. And it's just
yeah,
worrying because it shows you that when Kane and Son are tired, other players still aren't doing it. That's the problem here. So
yeah.
does he stick with Son for that reason, or does he take a chance on someone else? What do you think, David? Like,
Yeah, look, Charlie, do you know what? I'm in agreement with you. I personally, I would love to see him rested, but we know Jose wants to win games. He's a winner, and like you said, no one else has stepped up to that even challenge, even so that we can make an excuse for them to say they've been hard done by. Even it hasn't happened, and we need to win. So for me, Son plays. Hopefully, we can get at them, get a few goals early, and take Kane and Son off nice and early. That's what I want to see. But for me, to be honest with you, Charlie, I wouldn't be surprised if Son was rested, but I'm going to stick him in my predicted lineup purely because I know Jose and he's a winner and he wants to win. So it makes sense to play our best player.
yeah, I guess, yeah.
So we'll move on to up front then next.
Only one option.
Look, it's Kane because obviously Vinicius can't travel, he can't play, so it has to be Harry Kane. There's no one else.
Yeah, exactly. Kane's another one again, which maybe if Vinicius was fit, he might even rest Kane. You never know, because Vinicius, you have to say, has stepped up. He's one of the only players that has stepped up. That's the thing, and he's not getting a look in. Even with Kane in the team, I still think Vinicius should.
We are Tottenham TV actually put out an interesting tweet there, just a while ago earlier today. Basically kind of explaining why Vinicius hasn't really seen much game time. And to be honest with you, I agree with them. I have to say.
Yeah, but I think he should be in there from the start. I think he should be playing.
It does make complete sense to me. Yeah, but look, Jose doesn't see him as that though. You know, I can understand what you're saying. You could give him a go, but look, Lamella's back. So it's not really going to happen.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But I think it's frustrating that other players like Moura, Bale haven't stepped up and they're getting more looking than someone like Vinicius. So, but yeah, it's frustrating that because this could have been a good game for him to play, to be honest, Vinicius. But yeah, Kane up top, the only option there.
Yeah, and then outright for me, when he's fit, he plays. It's Lamela. Look, again, nobody has stepped up. Bale's out injured. Bergwijn, he's no end product at the minute. That's gone missing. Lucas is out, and again, no end product. So who do we have? It has to be Lamela.
I guess there's Bergwijn as well. I think it does.
To me, he deserves it as well, Charlie. There's no coincidence that our best two performances of the season against Southampton and then United, where we scored a lot of goals, this guy played, and he was crucial. He turns the ball up. He turns the ball over higher up the field, which allows you to break quicker and have a lot less players to play through. Do you know what I mean? Which means, we can create very, very good chances out of it. Yeah. And as well, it's his passion, it's his drive, it's his willingness to just chase. I love it.
Let's just hope he doesn't hold on to the ball for too long if he plays.
Yeah. Look, I do agree with you. For me, that can be frustrating. It can be frustrating.
So frustrating.
but look, you actually predicted in your score prediction that he was going to score.
Yeah, I gave Lamella a goal. Yeah.
So look, he very well could surprise you tomorrow. He could come in and put one of the best performances in of the season.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, but there you have it. There's our predicted lineup. We'll run through it again. Hugo Lloris goals. Aurier right back. Alderweireld Roden centre back. Steyer left back. Højbjerg.
Reguilon.
Reguilon. Sorry, who did I say?
Left back.
Oh no, sorry, Reguilon. And then we have Højbjerg, Sissoko, and Ndombele completing our midfield. And then up top, it's Son, Kane, and Lamela. So look, there you have it, guys. I think that's a pretty good lineup myself. I think it's definitely more than enough to beat Fulham in my opinion. So it is. And look, Charlie, I'm going to get on to the next thing, the score prediction.
So yeah, I said on my preview, I'm going to go 2-0 Spurs. I think it will be a game where we just have to show a reaction, and I'm going 2-0. I think we're due a win. We're more than due a win, and we're also due a clean sheet. So I think I'll go 2-0. I think it'll be a tight game. I think we'll score. We'll probably sit back as always, but I do feel this time we'll go and get that second goal. We're at home. We'll get the second goal. We'll kill it off with like 20 minutes to go, and I think it'll be hopefully a reasonably comfortable win for Tottenham. And if we can keep their attacking threats out, see, I'm going 2-0 Spurs. I'm going for Harry Kane and Eric Lamela to score. 2-0 Spurs.
Yeah, look, me, I honestly think we're going to see a reaction. I think we're going to see goals tomorrow. I think it could be 3-4-1. But if I stick my neck on the line, I'm going to go with 3-1. I'm going to go with Kane to score. I'm going to go with Son to score. Hopefully they score early. And I did say Dembele on your channel, but I forgot about Lamela, if I'm honest. So I am going to stick Lamela in there for a goal. I think if they do score, it's going to come from an individual mistake again.
Yep, the set piece. Probably like Mitrovic or something.
It's Fulham. We should be beating them. Let's send them back to their tiny little college.
The thing is, it doesn't matter who we're playing. It doesn't matter who we're playing. We have to get a win tomorrow. It doesn't matter what the team is. We have to get a win tomorrow. It's as simple as that. Due to our terrible form lately, we just have to get that win.
A win is crucial. And look, I'm confident. Some people may turn around and say, "Look, you never learn. It's Tottenham." But I back my team. Team. You know, I'm as confident as ever. Even if we play badly in one game, I'm confident going into the next game. That's just the type of guy I am. And if you like the type of guy I am, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Follow me. And like I said, the fastest growing channel on YouTube. Also, get off to Charlie THSE. I'm a regular on his channel as well. Get behind this guy. Big push to 1.5K next. So get behind him. Spread the word of the Charlie Army. And the Harris Army, all I can do is say thank you very much. Now, there you have it. There's your preview. In Jose we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs. Come on.